Paz, let's just get started. Aaron's dev blog. You're the big Gauntlet guy here, so I want your interpretation of all of this and what you think it's going to do. A region selection, which is going to allow different things to happen when you pick a certain region. Then bonding is back, which I'm a big fan of because I was a big fan of bonding. When they got rid of it, I was a little disappointed. Then there's a draft system. I think that's going to help, especially for me, because I struggle a little bit at the game. It's going to help the players at the bottom of the leaderboard maybe creep up a little bit because they're going to get a head start. And then Leviathans are coming to this. And then also a team planner, which I've already noticed they've incorporated it, at least a little bit. It kind of highlights the cards that are going to help you when you're playing the game. But anyways, you're playing this a lot more than me. Paz, what do you think about it?
All right, I'll take it away. I'm going to speed run this a little bit. Wait, I have to mute myself. Regions, which is basically giving every game a little bit of variance. So once you go into a game, you're going to select, probably going to vote on one region. So for example, everybody votes on Brightland Steppes. This is because it's going to give you some extra effect, all players. So for example, hey, your drone is going to get healed 5 health every 2 rounds, making it a longer game. People might prefer that. Or you're going to have extra emblems to play. Some special rule set is going to be applied with those regions, making every game feel unique. Next up, we have bonding, which, as you said, I'm also a big fan that this is coming back. They listen to the community, but they also actually going to incorporate it with the weapons. So we're still going to choose a weapon, but just for the basic affinities and classes. And then we're going to bond to get our composite synergies, which means it's finally way more accessible again to get those composite synergies. And you will be able to play anything you want to play. You can play whatever it is, Behemoth early on. You don't have to get those stage 3 weapons to unlock all the different composite synergies, especially when talking about getting 3 of them with your Ranger and 2 Illuvials. Then we get the draft system, which is like Carousel in TFT. So basically, if you're low on health, if you don't have a lot of health, you can you get the first pick at an Illuvial and at a augment component, which just means it's a bit of a catch-up mechanic. If you're low on health, you have a little bit of an advantage in the carousel rounds where you get Illuvials and items and so on. Then we have Leviathans, as you said. There is a lot of PvE fights. We have those already, right? We are fighting versus flishes, versus random units, just computer generated. But in the future, those are going to be actually challenging fights against big bosses, the Leviathans. And sometimes you cannot even beat them. And I think that's really interesting because it's not just going to be a dead time where you're just going to wait till you get the free win. You're actually going to have to try hard to win those PvE fights during one Gauntlet match. And then lastly, Team Planner is already implemented in the test net. And actually yesterday, it got moved with the newest patch to the mainnet. So Team Builder should be on the mainnet right now. And yeah, a lot of those features are being implemented right now, and you can go onto the testnet if you have private beta access and actually test it out yourself. And if you find bugs and report them, you might get some money because there's like a bug hunting competition. So if you report bugs, you're able to get some rewards. Maybe not money, maybe it's cosmetics, I think. Sweet. Yeah, so that was the quick rundown. Sorry, I couldn't hear yourself, so it just made it a monologue.
My question to you, Paz, is all these changes coming from what the community was asking for, or are these features that, Aaron just came up with and thought would be a great move?
I think many of it comes from the community, and even more comes from actually just TFT. Like 8 out of 10 of those features are TFT features that are really, really important TFT features that give you more skill expression and more player agency, and actually just reducing the RNG and actually making you feel like if you're the better player, you're going to win most of the time. It's not going to be like you roll the dice, oh, I hit the perfect legendary augment, I'm going to win this game. So it's going to be way harder to constantly win if you're not the best player in the lobby. And that's what we all want. So I'm really happy they bring these TFT features. They want to bring a little bit of a twist to every of those features. I listened again yesterday on stream to Aaron's town hall, and it feels like every feature they copy from TFT, they want to bring their own twist. And not reinvent the wheel, but yeah, modify it a bit to make it run smoother, he said. But sometimes I feel like maybe you don't have to even modify it, just copy it, and they already figured it out. So we'll see. We'll see if our twist on those TFT features will be a good thing. But it feels like the Illuvium Labs team is right now very fluid in their development, and they can adapt on the fly. And as long as we get those features, no matter how they look in detail, it's going to be really good. And yeah, some of those come from the community as well, but it's basically a no-brainer. Those are things that always were planned to happen. And now we finally see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I know Aaron had mentioned a mobile Gauntlet coming out at some point. I don't know if he gave a time frame on it, but I'd be pretty excited for mobile. It would definitely get me back into it a little bit more. Playing on the iPad, I think, would be great.